I hope everybody's good and fine, and thank you very much for coming. Yes, you may clap. You have my permission. Welcome to Insta8 Executive. Next slide. It's fantastic. You guys have to understand, it was a very long journey to get to Insta8 Executive. 104 weeks exactly. How did it start? I have to mention, really, the inspiration, Tal, is my brother. Right. If you got, his name is Fahad, we don't look alike, and I'm older. Thank you very much. By 8 years, correct? 6. 6. Good. What happened? I'll tell you guys a story. After the first Insta8, he came to me and said, what? Class. That was his word, right? And then he called me up a couple of days later and said, why don't you do an Insta8 CEO? And he said, straight away, you got to get Dr. Amr, an inspiration, straight away. And Wael al-Lawati at that time. Those were obviously the first two names. They are the creme de la creme of CEOs at that time. And right now, obviously, it's never over. Right? I kind of wanted to simmer on that thought. I liked what it was. I knew I needed something big after having a historic first Insta8. You guys know that was the first Insta8 ever done in the world. This is not a chapter from the world. This is something created fully here in Oman. You guys know that, right? Good. A brand we can take and we can be proud of that we created something creative, something challenging, something that can get people to inspire other people. Something that says Oman all the way. I hope my Snapchat is Snapchatting. Snapchat, you can move around. You have my permission, man. Good. Okay, so we got to that. When he told me about CEO, I said, I'm not really sure about the term CEO. So I said, let me simmer on it. And then the idea of executive came into play. At that time, I liked executive because it's one, open, broad range. It allows a lot of people. And Dr. Amr again mentioned that it's able to get people also low level, high level, extremely VIP, all of them executives. All of you guys can be an executive. All of you guys, do you guys know what executive means? I'm not really sure. But let me mention that management and leadership is different than executive, okay? Management and leadership is top down. Executive is bottom up. That's how a lot of people should be thinking and try to think about their business. Long-term thinking. It's not one giant leap. It's a small million steps to get where you get to. And you need executive thoughts, executive decisions, executive maneuvers to get there. So I want a lot of SMEs and entrepreneurs to start thinking like that. To think, what did Riyadh say? What do you want to be in 200 years? That was fantastic, you know? So it's long-term. And hopefully, with all the great lineup of speakers we have over here, you walk out with a lot of stuff, a lot of information, and hopefully be inspired. Next slide. I'd like you to work with me. Right, Insta8 Oman. How many of you guys are following it? This is a social media event. Get your phones out. Start your selfies. Do your thing. Do not be embarrassed by it. Thank you for raising your hands. You're a fan. I like it, Kumar. Okay, take your phone out. Really, right now, start following it. Help us out. Support us. That'll be great. Okay, next. I obviously have to thank our first sponsors, the Opera Galleria. This gentleman right over here, Ibrahim Al-Qasimi. You know what the story is? Thank you very much. Everybody's got a story, by the way, with me on this case. Everybody's got a great epic connection. So we do the Insta8 over here, and then I move away to try and move around. Every Insta8 is a pilot. I don't know what I want, but I know what I don't want. And in that, it helps me find what I want. Quote. Okay, I thought you guys would be clapping and laughing. It's a quote. You don't know what you want, but you know what you don't want, and in that, it helps you find what you want. Quote. Okay, so when we move around, nothing really worked. Nothing really picked it up. Then suddenly, I did something for LC Waikiki with Anne, and I saw Ibrahim over there, and I'm standing going, oh my God, we just finished an event. Drop my sweat over there. Ibrahim comes, I love what you got. We hug each other and says, I want you to the Opera House. I'll pay you. I was like, I'm in. No issues. And it started that way. And from then on, it was roughly 2 months, started building, and I said straight away, I want Insta8 executive. And that's how we got to where we got to right now. Next slide. Tamra Aman, Shabib, a gentleman and a squire, comes in, helps out. Sarahatan, sponsorship is not all the time money, sometimes support, you know? And Shabib came up with his dates. He wants to, obviously, it's a bartership thing, two-way, scratch back, scratch back. So Tamra Aman is in the Opera Galleria. You guys have to try it out, right? Visit it, support it. Oman, we need to support each other, guys. We can't start this tiffs within against each other. We have to support each other. Oman's a small place, small pie. So try and get out there. Try and support as many SMEs and small businesses. It's great. This is how we grow. Next slide. Al-Ru'ya magazine. Obviously, everybody knows Sharif and Hala. Huge round of applause for them. I knew them a while ago, very supportive. They were fantastic growing up in the scene, specifically in the fashion scene, and another scratching each other's back situation. Very supportive in every way possible, specifically Hala with the VIPs and helping me out with this because it's very hard to work alone. So every little bit helps from everybody. I thank you, Hala, and I thank you, Sharif. Next slide. Grand Hyatt Oman. Oh my God, this was fantastic. We go, we speak. I needed to get the green sheikh from Ajman. He needs to stay in somewhere elegant. There's nowhere that I thought that could be greater than the Grand Hyatt. I went and spoke to Nicole Bassett, and within hours, the general manager went and said, good. That's because people want to get into social media. People need to understand that social media is the way to go to promote what it is possible. One, it stays longer. Two, it reaches more people than what publications done right now. I'm not trying to say it's the end of papers. Everybody wants to feel papers and the crackle of it, right? But who reads the papers? Who pays attention to the ads? And social media's influencers can get the point out. So try as much as possible to use social media, support social media, and try and learn how to use social media for your advantage and to your advantage. Next slide. Oman Air Official, Jamal, where are you? Good man. He is the country manager for Oman Air. Everybody, sponsorship, get to know this guy. Fantastic man. He understands what to do. He understands the scene right now. He's friendly. He's youthful. He's shaking up to me what I see Oman Air is. The sheikh needed to come. He was going to come late at night. I wanted him to come slightly earlier. I didn't know what to do. Again, no money. What am I going to do? Nabs, first person I spoke to. I know you're here. Well, Arab adventurer. You know, stand up. Everybody's got to know who you are. Seriously. This guy's a superstar. Stand up. Be proud. You know you can do it. Turn around. Wave like the king. Thank you, Nabs. Nabs tells me you got to speak to Jamal. I said, I don't know who Jamal is. So he calls up Jamal and says, do you know Fahmi? He said, yeah, the dark man. Nabs didn't even understand what that means. He's like, Jamal, you're racist. It's not a racism thing, right? I used to have a blog a long time ago, and I used to call myself the dark man. So that's where it got to and all that stuff. Straight up, sits down, gets to hear about Insta8, doesn't give me any of those, we'll see what happens, give me a proposal, stays quiet for months, you don't hear anything from them. What's up with that? That's how you operate and you support people. Thank you very much, Jamal. Appreciate it. Next slide. By the way, everybody, when the tags come on, try and follow them, show some support, show that Insta8 Oman really makes a difference. Sahtain, everybody, please take out your phone. This is something you got to find out about. It's Iman? Iman? Hiding. Don't know why. What did you say this was? Absolutely, what kind of food? Gourmet catering. And what about it? It's not biodegradable. What was the word? Supporting local suppliers. Look, a little person thinking big, thinking what to do, knowing what to do. And that's Iman Rafai over there with Sahtain. You know where the location is? It's at Fun Zone. That's what it's called, right? Fun Zone, where the snow and Muscat Festival is going to happen over there. I hope so. So Sahtain's over there. Support it. Go over. Great sandwiches, like a deli. That's what I think about it. And she does great stuff. Did you like the food? That was Sahtain. Did you like the drinks? That was Sahtain. Small enterprise that acts like a huge organization. You can all do it. She thought about things right. She's here right now, and she supported it fully with her own money. Seriously, respect. Very humble. Next slide. Aha. I'm hoping that we have something exclusive mentioned to you guys later. Really, 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 really hoping about that. But Dr. Amr was the first person I spoke to. All right? Two things. I went to go speak to him. This was 76 weeks ago. How do I know? And I'm talking in weeks because that's what Instagram says. Right? I just went back and realized what it was. I saw him at a social media event, and the presenter she said, I went to Dr. Ahmed and asked him for half an hour of his time, and he gave it to me. So I did exactly that. I went and asked him for half an hour of his time, and he gave me exactly that. He said, come over this date at my office. Came over, we sat down, and I love you, man. I'm serious. I love you. You know, complimenting kind of fun in the back, a stab a little in the back. He called me the ultimate communicator. It's for me, just boosted my ego. Seriously. An ego that mine is tiny. Right? Right? So, coming from Dr. Amr, superstar CEO, and he understands and knows what he sees, I knew 100% it's not flawed or delusional. He's knowing what he sees, and he told me. And I said, from that on, fantastic. I said, well, I'd love you to speak on Insta8 Oman. And obviously, it took me a long time to explain what it was at that time because it was still a pilot. I didn't know exactly where I want to go. Right now, it's getting clearer. So we managed to explain it in, I think, 40 minutes. And he said, yes, he's in. And then I managed to take a picture with him with a little poster saying Insta8 Oman. Confirmed, boom. Huge, huge for the future of Insta8. Thank you very much, Dr. Amr. And are you Snapchatting this? Okay, you can move around. You can move around. I have an audience over here who depends on my Snapchat to get the good angle. Good. So, another thing what Dr. Amr went and said, he said, straight away, no argument, I will support you. Here's this amount of money, boom. Exactly. And you guys have to understand, it's a brand new company. He's supporting himself by himself. So in essence, he is also, is that the word, SME also? Can we call that? Yeah, like us, you know, all of us and all that stuff. So he's there and he's supported. It's great. So I thank you very much, so much. And we're here right now with Hasad. He will explain what Hasad is later. Next slide. Who knows this name? A little louder, please. A little standing ovation. No. Hala, can you please stand up? This lady supports everybody. Everybody who wants to be supported. Everybody who respects her and everybody who respects the idea of supporting others. She supported me all the way from the beginning. She came up with the idea of Insta8 Fashion, and ever since then we've been working together. Thank you very much, Hala. I got a lot of followers and supporters because of Hala. I got a lot of attention about Insta8 because of Hala. So, huge integral part to our life. Thank you very much. Oman's a small pie. We shouldn't fight each other. My philosophy is all about collaboration, not competition. If you guys can think about that more and figure out people in your industry that you can collaborate, you can actually grow once you can figure out that you guys have chemistry together. It's very important, you guys. What I just said is huge. These times that are coming over right now is going to impact everybody. We've seen it in 91. Yes, I'm that old. 98. Yes, I faced it. 2008. Horrible. And now, trust me, it's tough times. So try and figure out a way of collaborating if you are not doing fine on your own and all that stuff. But still, it's better to grow that way. I don't know what to call them. You know what? Forget the story because it might sound political. But who are the group of people, all of history, who's always suffered? Them lot. Bani Israel, okay? So, I don't know what to say. The Jews, okay? So, they all supported each other and grew. What's their magic? What's their secret? Come on, we're Omanis, we're brothers. We all know each other. Do it! Don't just stand there. You know, I'm serious. Work together. That's the way forward. I would love to see all of us successful and fighting this oil crisis together. That's the problem. Good. Next slide. Aha! Phones out! Now! Sorry, Croydon, I'm shouting. Okay, selfie all the time. Guys, if you want to see this on Snapchat, give me my phone. Give me my phone. Where are you? Okay. If you want to see this on Snapchat and all that stuff, there's 2 people that you got to follow. One is me, be really cool, and one is Dr. Samia. Please stand up. Fantastic lady. You know, seriously, this lady is everywhere. And she films everything fantastically, you know, and all that stuff. Fine data usages and everything like that, but, you know, sometimes you get some good stuff, sometimes you don't. But seriously, Dr. Samia, if you want to find out, you can Snapchat everywhere now. You can do your selfie, yeah? Seriously, do your thing.
Okay, say something.
Say something. Something. But you need to get everybody. Woo! This is a social media world. We can do everything. There are no rules, there are no constraints. Be as free as you want. Thank you, Dr. Samia. Right, good. Yeah, selfie time. We always start an Insta 8 officially. Wait, before I start, I went about the supporting thing, right? Fatma, hi. Can you stand up, please? Who is this lady? Everybody, do you know this lady? The champion of Muscat and Oman and the Middle East. Seriously, I don't hear loud enough claps and whistles. Yeah, she's pretty, people. Wolf whistle. Good, right? She needs a lot of support out there. She needs as much support as possible. She's number 375 in the world. She reaches number 300 and you can get into the ATP series, Grand Slams and all that stuff. How proud are we going to be as Oman, right? And how do we get there? By supporting. And this is number 1 who we need to support, people. Follow her, F. Al Nabhani on Snapchat and Instagram. Thank you very much, Fatma.